The skeleton typically has 206 named bones. The axial part consists of the skull 28 bones, including the cranial and facial bones, the hyoid bone, the vertebrae bones, the ribs 24 bones, and the sternum. The appendicular part of the skeleton consists of the bones of the upper extremities or arms, 64 bones, including the shoulder girdle bones and the bones of the lower extremities or legs. 62 bones, including the bones of the pelvic girdle. The frontal bone is a single bone that forms the forehead, the roof of the nasal cavity, and the orbits, which are the bony sockets that contain the eyes. Important bone markings are the orbital margin, the definite ridge above each orbit located where eyebrows are found, and the supraorbital ridge, which overlies the frontal sinus and can be felt in the middle of your forehead. The coronal suture is found where the frontal bone joins the two parietal bones. The figures shows the frontal sinus, epiphyseal sinuses, sphenoidal sinus, and maxillary sinus. The figures shows the external auditory pindale, temperate membranes, malleus, incus, stapes, semicircular pindale, ampulla, vestibule, CNVII, cochlea, oval window, round window, eustachian tube, lobule. It also shows the external ear, middle ear and the inner ear. The cranial bones. The anterior view of the skull, and the lateral view of the skull. Once you get a sense of where these bones are located, use a model of a human skull and search for sutures as a guide. Remember that in the real skull, the older the skull, the less obvious the sutures become. The bones of the upper extremities include the bones of the shoulder girdle, the arm, the forearm, the wrist, the hand, and the epiphyseal. The bones of the shoulder girdle are the clavicle and the scapula. The clavicle or collarbone is a long slim bone located at the root of the neck just below the skin and anterior to the epiphyseal rib. The medial end articulates with the manubrium of the sternum and the lateral end with the acromial process of the scapula. The scapula or shoulder blade is a large, fluid-at, triangular bone located on the dorsal portion of the thorax, covering the area from the second to the seventh rib. Two other prominent bony projections on the scapula are the coracoid process, which functions as an attachment for muscles that move the arm, and the glenoid fossa, which receives the head of the humerus and helps form the shoulder joint. Right radius and ulnar. A anterior view. B posterior view. The radius is the shorter, lateral bone of the forearm. It is joined to the ulna by an interosseous membrane traversing the area between the shafts of the two bones. They move as one. The styloid process of the radius articulates with some of the bones of the wrist,